Here's Sorber. High post, unable to hit. Rebound tracked down by Caleb Williams. Micah Peavy knocks down a three from the wing, and Georgetown has the lead.
A couple of guys on Villanova play, but if he's not going to hit that shot, you can duck a bullet or two.
Peavy in and out from distance. Rebound Boakye is back in for Georgetown.
Nice cut here by Sorber down low.
Kicks to the wing. Peavy.
All about Sorber moving without the basketball. Just about getting Sorber involved down there, but he's got to show a little more enthusiasm in terms of looking for the ball and wanting it.
Peavy off the mark. And a rebound for Longino.
And nothing on the offense.
Parker to check into the next timeout. The next whistle. Sorber, that's a blind pass, nearly picked off. Peavy recovers and gets to the rack.
Wow, that was a great look.
Position 3 off the mark. Pulled down by Peavy. Peavy gets the return pass from Williams and hits from 3. Georgetown has the lead.
And Peavy's a little...
Mack out of control. Recovered by Sorber.
Yeah, this has not been a good 2.5 minutes or so for Georgetown.
Peavy off balance.
Power read.
Peavy. Yeah, they tried that Dirk maneuver, but winds after throwing a punch.
And Sorber not getting the touches underneath.
Peavy, they need it, and they got it.
Good little roll to the basket, though, by Sorber
From Dixon.
Yeah, you generally see that with a 6'5", 6'3" guard making that type of move.
Warriors looking for the answer, and it's Micah Peavy.
Maybe a little more rhythm from making this even more difficult on Villanova.
Epps, size disadvantage, kicks to Peavy, another 3, and Georgetown is matching Villanova.
Right. Second half. A lot of contact there.
And Longino coughed it up.
Both ways.
Peavy, men at the rim, Dixon trailing. Got the block. Couldn't convert on the layup.
Georgetown needs a good look right now. Oh, that might have been a step right there.
Got away with one. Peavy a 3 in and out. Rebound Boakye. Mack dumps it off late.
Yeah, very late.
Burks a 3. No. Skying up the tip, it is Peavy. Georgetown pulls it down, but it goes back to pass that's fumbled by Longino. Georgetown has it in the final minute.
Yeah, he tried to swipe at him just then, Dixon, didn't he?
Mack to Peavy. It's a 1-point game. Oh. Inbound to Peavy. Peavy driving, floating, got it! Georgetown has the lead!
Streak, which goes back almost exactly 2 years to the day. 39 straight regular season Big East losses. Peavy the take, but no 2. Gathers. And his stick back, he's fouled. He'll shoot. The pick and roll with Fielder. Williams Jr. Fielder the take. Kick out instead. Peavy. Rebound for Gunn.
Yeah, one thing they're not going to double field. They're kind of just matching up with them.
And that's just to slow down Georgetown. This is to get them to think about where their shots are going to come from.
Sing it to you, was he?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When we used to play Georgetown, I tell the refs, you can't buy one. When we played Georgetown, I would tell the refs.
Rock of the last 8 for DePaul. Fielder on Benson, gets physical. Feeds Peavy, Benson over for the big swat.
It's a double block right there.
Zed! Troy D'Amico! A huge 3 for DePaul. What a shot. It's 5. Other end block. Benson. Count it. It's a goaltend.
One of the, if not the best defender, sorry Ryan Kalkbrenner, I know you have something to say about this at Creighton, but one of the best in all of America.
And that's the next step that he's taken, Donnie. The 3 steps. Now feeling healthier. Jaden Epps with great speed. Terrific ball movement for Georgetown. Peavy again, he's short. Offensive rebound for the Hoyas. Peavy attacks. That was shut down by Ejiofor. Scrambled for it here, and Richmond.
And if they're in that zone, you got to find that free throw line or that baseline.
10 on the timer. Peavy with a Euro. Wow. Micah Peavy.
I love the demeanor that Mike. There you go, right at that foul line. You gotta secure it though once you get it.
Fourth turnover by the Red Storm. Peavy shut down by Scott. Here's Lewis.
Nice job by Richmond to continue to back.
And he gave it away. Fifth turnover by the Red Storm. Mack with pace. Peavy again. Micah Peavy was a maestro in the win over Creighton. That is just his second 3 of the season. It's his 4th attempt from beyond the arc. Peavy answers.
Micah Peavy is feeling it. Tired of people saying that he's just a...
Again, Richmond off. Fielder with the board.
How about the glass? Georgetown plus 12.
Peavy! Micah Peavy put him on a poster! Sorber backdoor to Peavy. Peavy had the big first half. He's short here. Into the hands of Ejiofor. Lewis getting past Peavy. Early goings. Lewis turned it over. Look out below for Peavy. Micah Peavy again.
Another steal and finish for Micah Peavy.
Feels like so much has happened, Donnie, in 6 minutes to start the second half. An eternity to still tell in this game. Peavy, it spins out. Goes to a 3-minute scoring drive. A 14-2 run. Close to 6 minutes, and Peavy cannot end it. Wow.
Must be something. The floor is tilted the other way, or these baskets.
And if you're thinking about it with Georgetown, they were up 15 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. As Peavy sticks it back to, at long last, break up a 19-2 run. Looking, surveying, it's Peavy who heaves and unsettled.
Well, listen, you can complain that, you know.
Here's Peavy. Once he gets a little bit of space, he capitalizes. Micah Peavy has 18 points.
And there's just no help. You're just a ball handler. You're not going to speed him up in that backcourt.
Peavy, the big knight, stopped on a dime. He's short. Tapped out into the hands of Wilcher.
The officials be on their toes.
Could have gotten fouled. Here's Peavy. Attacking. Out of control. Gets it back. Off to Mack. Malik Mack is off. And here's team. Peavy on a back down. Spinning. Weaving. Wow. He had a point-blank look. And now a foul on Peavy. Georgetown's over the limit.
If you miss it, you can't compound your problems. Your only dies with that ball handling ability.
Mack attacks off the window. No. Peavy sticks it back. Timeout, Ed Cooley. That's his last. Still love it. Peavy with 10. Gotta hurry. Peavy attacks. Lewis with a rejection.
How about that?
And that'll say goodnight to the Hoyas. St. John's is 6-1.
Ball in front, relying a little bit too much on that back line, but they have the talent and the athletes to be able to get stops.
Loose ball. How about that? You know that he's able to do it. Here's Caravan. Lost it in the open floor. Williams. Look at that defensive effort.
Great hustle by Jalen Stewart running back.
Power brings it down. A little bit like Newton. More of a scoring guard, not a point. That was a lazy pass. And look out. Micah Peavy brings the icing. Beautifully done by Peavy. Give him a little room. He knows what to do with it.
You to put the ball on the floor. Terrific shooter. But he's done a nice job of putting that ball on the floor, getting downhill this season.
And since he said soft, they've gone on an 8-0 run.
Need some help here.
That one's off the heel, and Johnson claims the rebound. They're trying to find a way. Micah Peavy, he's the guy that can settle them. He's the experienced player on the floor for the Hoyas. That's one he needs to make. He's got a classic in between. Diarra swatted away, and guess who? Another big Burks. Counted in a foul.
play. Let it air out just a little bit, a click longer.
Gotcha. Boy, look at that defensive work by Reed. There's Sorber going out. It's back in rhythm, and the Huskies look like the two-time defending national champions again.
Again, you know, Georgetown isn't really running anything. You know, a lot of one-on-one stuff.
Diarra. Sorber with a quick outlet. Peavy. And a foul.
He's just so big and strong. Win, lose, or draw.
Our meetings with him are perfect because we never have to ask a question. He knows what we need.
Oh, what a block there again by Reed. He has some length. So once he gets into your body, doesn't do it the quickest.
Ooh, there's a little give and go reversal. Well done by Curtis Williams.
And this is on the glass. They're a very good rebounding team. That is where Marquette struggles a little bit.
Sorber passing out of the double, probing dribble. Peavy rise and miss. Rattles off iron. Sorber, a dribble, and
Parham and Demarius Owens are both going to be big-time players. Parham is going to take Joplin's place. He's that kind of player.
oh, great Euro, but no finish there from Micah Peavy. Ball moving for Marquette. Taken away by Peavy. Owens on his hip, puts it home.
Peavy, one of the best steal guys in the country, too. Top 20 in steals.
Mitchell's gone to the bench. 40 seconds. Dead ball means immediate. So Owens getting some major time to shine on the left block. And he gets beaten on that reverse on help. Peavy puts it home. Next guy. Hoyas on the run. Just roaring down the floor. Max screaming for the ball. Peavy contested. Fall away. Rattles in.
He is a really, really good player, this kid.
The game, quick load, gold for three, no. Tip weak side, Mack leaking ahead is Peavy, ahead of the field. Jam! Timeout Marquette. The Hoyas are relative infancy.
Yeah, let's see what they do with Mack on the bench now.
Peavy put it up. What a follow, perfectly timed. Jordan Burks. Williams wants it on the wing. Peavy misses. And Burks gets it. The lead is gone for the Hoyas. They need a bucket. 4 on the timer. Peavy forced to put it up.
Tough shot. Yeah, they can't get good looks now.
Half against Xavier. Peavy giving some isolation. Norman playing with 3 fouls. Elbow J on the way. No. Joplin.
They've done a good job on him, making him take tough shots.
8 to shoot. Mack gets the clear against Mitchell. Great feed to Peavy. Contested jumper, no. Off fielder. Mack tracks it down and coughs it up.
And they showed that they're in this Big East race to stay.
Peavy, layup. Timeout Georgetown. Simbo 13.6. Peavy down the lane, rejected by Gold. They continue to play defense down to the...
On the call, 71-68 the final here in Bowling Green.
And we welcome you.
Forcing tough twos, no threes is working to perfection for the Hoyas.
Xavier 0 for 4 from the outside. Peavy lost him. Couldn't complete the highlight though. Swain up ahead. Fremantle open floor. Blocked by Peavy. Max saves it. F's back the other way.
You have to ask yourself that if Fremantle was having some ghosts in his ears about his injury, because usually he would finish that.
It's a little bit of timing. He wanted a fast break this as well too.
Be careful what you wish for sometimes, but right now it's been working to perfection.
Peavy acrobatic finish as he goes off the glass.
And he was a tremendous night.
Mack, a confident 3. Williams gets the offensive rebound. Peavy, a drive, a pivot, an attempt, and he cans it.
He's playing fantastic.
Minutes essentially for Georgetown. Sorber draws 2. Peavy left wide open for 3. Too strong. Ball batted around. Williams, another offensive rebound. 1 for 5. Peavy, the drive, takes a little bit of contact. McKnight was trying to fight the Titan Sorber.
The coach coolly can counter in the second half.
To your point, Mac, with 2 fouls, wasn't going to try to do anything down there. It's a 2-point game again. Peavy fading away, game's leading scorer now with 9 points.
Yeah, so good to shoot.
Peavy, there he is, working one-on-one, backing down Foster. Peavy fading away, and like the logo on the jersey, hits the pound. Peavy thought about it, trying to get it to Sorber. Ball batted away again. Peavy down low. Jump stop, tough reverse. Foster has it ripped away.
Sorber did a great job.
Their best basketball. Here comes the double on Sorber. The freshman cross-court pass, rifles it. Caught by Peavy, steps into the 2-point jump shot. Fundamental.
Just big time. You think about Sorber, not UConn to overtime. Those tough call at the end of the Marquette game. And just today, it's just a different team out there.
Peavy nearly got back-to-back jumpers, and this foul is going to be...
Those free throws are huge. They just tied the game. The mentality of players when they see that is big time.
Peavy goes baseline, sneaks it in.
You let Peavy go.
They already have 15 wins. They've shattered last year, and they want to get this man the ball. Thomas Sorber doubled fast, quick trigger, and Micah Peavy could not hit. Offensive rebound by Georgetown. And how tight they call it down there in that hand fighting is going to matter over the next 40 minutes.
Screen, got to start fighting for position early. That's what he did that time. If you set the tone throughout the game, make it deep. Wasn't an angle. You got to understand, playing with screen, he's not a perimeter big, so Sorber is always going to be around the basket to help out. With your bigs, whenever you get in trouble 2 on the ball, your big is going to be your outlet pass.
And the fact that he can make threes consistently, 32%, better of late as Epps, smallest man, 7-0 to join the registry again. Text Andrew to 38470. Micah Peavy with the dunk out of the timeout. 4-point game, under 8 to go. A few minutes to go for Georgetown. Jaden Epps to the lane. Peavy falls away.
Georgetown without Sorber, a little hesitant, not playing a lot of course, just passing the ball around the perimeter and got to stop.
Micah Peavy for 3.
Has to be aggressive, looking to score.
Sitting on the Georgetown bench. He looks like he's in street clothes for the night. Peavy, a 3.
Same play.
Small, but he could look at anybody on the floor for the rest of the night and say too small for the 7-footer. Peavy. Online but long, Kobe King, one of the best rebounding guards in the league.
Get into the ball. You have the crowd, you have the energy. Georgetown trying to figure out.
Peavy short. Kayvon Moretti checks in for the first time as well for the Butler Bulldogs. Lead is back to 15. Peavy attacking, eyes on the rim, and that's where he landed.
Did a fabulous job of beating more off the play.
So he asked for a real long offensive possession. Here we go, out of that timeout, backdoor Peavy. That was real, that was loud.
That was patience, as Coach was talking about in the huddle.
Micah Peavy called for this ball. He wants Telford. He rises, and he wanted that shot.
He's having a second half. Man.
Came into the day needing 24 points to get to 1,000. He has 24 points with 6:15 to go. Peavy took a tough shot, screen, enveloped him. Peavy got it back and hits 19 plus in his last 4. Epps. Peavy gets it back, long 2. Another offensive rebound. Sherm Burks was fouled, hacked by. Won the race.
Made a fight through the contact.
Peavy, same thing. Blocked, got back, and no, that's got to be a jump ball, and it is. Could have been an up and down around here. And again, whether they're willing to admit they've turned a corner or whatever it is, this Butler team, as that goes for Micah Peavy, is completely different than the one you and I saw.
With that, it's tough to win in college basketball without having a league guard play. Understand they have a terrific center and Sorber, but you still need guard play to pick it up.
Micah Peavy adds to a big night, 6 points.
25 free throws in the second half.
Peavy. And McCaffrey has a rebound.
And has lost 8 straight games coming into this afternoon's tilt.
And you hate that with sport.
You do.
Hate that there's injuries that are part of it. You don't get to see the full potential and maybe the full vision, but
with these seasons, they've already won 5 this year. So even though the Hoyas struggled a little bit in January, this is a program that has taken a huge step in year 2 under Coach Cooley.
And he's nowhere near. That is how you have to continue to play. Get downhill and attack the basket.
Dual with the last bucket for the Hall, and it's an 8-2 start for Seton Hall on the road. That's just the second field goal of the game for George.
Defense right now.
Well, there's a steal for Georgetown's Malik Mack, and Epps to Peavy in the corner. Got the 3 ball to drop.
So many times, young kid, hit or miss. There's no real consistency to it. And then now, be that as it may, injuries, no one wants to see those. There's Peavy downhill again. Nobody wants to see injuries, but when you know, it's a lot harder to play offense when you got to take the ball out of the net. But when you can get stops and you can play in transition and secondary breaks, shots get a little bit better.
And a tough shot by Peavy, but fielders.
Seton Hall has continued to play confident.
And Isaiah Coleman, who hit that last shot, a player looking for some confidence, as Dual blocks that shot by Peavy. Coleman
with their 5-man setting on-ball screens or getting handoff DHOs and creating contact. And he, right now, is consistently getting space for his guards, whether the shot goes in or not.
Some aggressive defense for Georgetown on this possession. Leads to a bad shot and a transition look for Peavy. The 6'8" Euro step finish and the steal by Georgetown. Ripped off 7 straight points in 45 seconds. There's an extra look for the Hoyas again. Peavy thought that was down. What about Curtis Williams? And Georgetown now with a 3rd chance opportunity on this possession following the Seton Hall foul on Garway Dual. And you give a team enough chances, they're going to make you pay. Peavy, well, USC's not going to walk away with that one. This is Peavy who pulls up. And he gets an extra friendly roll as well. He's shooting next time. And that 3 off the heel. Peavy the rebound for Georgetown.
I'll tell you what, Coleman, Peavy, they're better than me. I'm definitely taking those heat checks.
Peavy drops it in. Well,
That's right now. When you pass it and your man is coming off, get some contact. Create separation. It's the oldest saying, screener gets open.
Peavy misses the baseline jumper.
To rush and force.
Felton tried the high glass, it didn't work, and Peavy on the run out. A reverse jam.
Now he's showing off.
And Seton Hall has gone 8 for 11 at the stripe, and Sorber with a big block. 2-on-1 Georgetown. Peavy couldn't quite throw it down on the lob from Epps.
From you, but you trust the freshman who's averaging 4 points on the season, who gave you the nod. Yes, throw this ball to me, and he converts.
Off the miss, Williams got it for Georgetown. This is
get into your sets faster.
Peavy jumps the route. 2-on-1, Curtis Williams. Peavy misses the layup alley-oop on the second try. He puts it home. Sorber does, in fact, pick up his 8th double-double of the season. That leads the country among freshmen. Sorber trying to tip that one in.
Which are in position to get that final bye in the Big East standings. Top 5 teams get their 4-way tie right now.
Yeah, Georgetown continues to build a team that over the last 3 years only won 4 Big East games. They've surpassed that accomplished so far. Georgetown's length and defense has been stifling on the Xavier offense. Good move.
Peavy, great behind the back. Everything but the finish. Tapped out fielder keeps it alive. And Swain with hands on it. But Peavy steps in on the scramble and rattles in the 3.
It's a light thing, right? But anytime an offensive player loses the basketball, and if they're touched in the least bit, they're going to call foul. I thought that was a good call by the official.
And Sorber tapped it, Foster away with it. Guarded by Hunter. Speed advantage for Mack. Hunter stays with him, forces him to give it up. Right back to Mack. Extra pass for Peavy. Ooh, got his second 3 of the night. What? Everybody standing is Peavy with a thing of beauty.
He does a really nice job coming
on the screen, twists it in and turned it over. Hands on it for Burks. Mack leading the pack for Georgetown. Peavy out deep and almost had that three you were just talking about. It's back out to the Muscatine media timeout when it was 7-6.
Georgetown's got to get back to the screen and roll with Sorber and get him some touches around the rim.
And Peavy off a screen, he's missed back-to-back.
I like Peavy taking open threes.
We hit the minute mark of this first half. Peavy trying to get level again. Up, under, no bounce. Rebound Conwell. Didn't finish it until now. Pretty simple.
Yeah, mindset. A lot of times it's about mindset. He's 6'8", and he gets to his spots, and he's been finishing well.
And Peavy took it in on him. Fight for the loose ball, jump ball.
Lateral movement and the instincts that he has defensively, incredible.
You didn't realize it until you stood next to him too, right?
Yeah, because again on film when I watch him, you know, he's not particularly long.
Maddox looking for space. He had Peavy switch off onto him. And Conwell has it stripped by Mack. Peavy playing into the body and soaring for a jam.
That turnover created by exchanges with Sorber involved have been really good for the Hoyas.
He's stationary on the block. Mack gets backed up by Peavy. Tough left-handed finish.
Yeah, Mack lost control
in this half. As we approach the 8-minute mark in a game Xavier and Georgetown would really like to have, and a response for Peavy with the and one.
Yeah, what they're doing right now is
meant tonight. He got a nice hand on his way out.
One of the best venues in all of college basketball. The Cintas Center fans are phenomenal.
Peavy, bank shot. He has 20 on the night.
That's that same action, bringing him off.
Peavy's had answers. He's got another. Maddox looking like the guy he was against UConn as Peavy. One more answer. 24-point. Yep, we'll go for the series sweep after beating Villanova on their home floor. A little over a half minute. Peavy a three, rolls down, and Georgetown not done yet.
Yeah, really nice pistol.
Quite a tribute to his family.
He's scored the first 4 points for Georgetown. This is Peavy who gets in the lane, left the fadeaway well short, and McCaffrey corrals the rebound for Butler.
And went over the ball screen. They wanted to make that shot impossible to take. That was a very comfortable ball screen jumper.
Offensive rebound and the putback for Sorber.
Where they kind of lift everybody to the foul line and let him run to the post.
He skips to Peavy, who goes into the lane, absorbs contact, and banks it in.
Big when he sprints the floor.
They did that for Andre Screen. The block immediately led to a dunk on the other end of the floor. Peavy catch and shoot is short. Rebound tipped in the hands of Landon Moore. Telfort won't get the bounce. Screen tapped the rebound, but into the hands of Peavy. Hoyas have a 3-on-3. Peavy splits the defense, but he can't lay it in. Colby King
was going to play this game with a point guard name only. There it is.
Back-to-back Butler turnovers. It's Peavy going the other way, and a finger roll finish to give Georgetown the lead. Who's the leading scorer for Butler at 16 a game.
Telfort so far is demonstrating patience, though.
He talked about Peavy on the defensive end. He knows how to play out the three. 6 to shoot. Pick and roll. Sorber. No, what a follow, though, by Micah Peavy. Whoa. Peavy gets the logo, falls away over McCaffrey, and he's got it.
You can feel it. Can't you sitting here? No, he can feel it. But he's been able to use up fakes and get inside the defense.
Peavy has the size on Bizjack. Taps in his own miss. Peavy elevates over the 7-footer, left it short. Williams the offensive rebound, got the bounce. Bizjack. Peavy curls off the screen. Falling away from the mid-range, he connects.
Interesting, they've put Peavy down low
He curls, catches. Oh, he can't lay it in, but does tip in the second chance. Just wanted to add a rebound to the stat sheet. Trip that time for Bizjack. 8-point Georgetown lead. Mack lofts it up. No, Tippin is there, though. Peavy with the second chance on back-to-back possessions.
Different animal.
Haven't played since last Wednesday, so they had a couple extra days of prep with a weekend bye. Peavy is short, and Rick Pitino said we got to work on ourselves. We got
something get downhill. I think you have to force the issue a little bit. Maybe get yourselves to the foul line if you can.
Peavy.
Yeah, those are tough. Those fall-aways from 15 feet when the lid, basically, the first 9 minutes or so has been won by St. John's. I think you got to get something off the rim. You got to get a stop first, and then you got to run. But St. John's team's a very good rebounding team. There you go.
Peavy, he's been the accelerator for this Georgetown team.
Something in transition, pick the pace up a little bit. Yeah, I love the swing. Kadari Richmond knows I don't have to dribble this, but look at threading the needle.
A foul on the rebound after an out-of-control shot. B kicks. Epps does get a look. Sorber with an offensive rebound. Micah Peavy.
Boy, there's a lid on it for the whole Sorber with the touch. Since then, and you know, here we are 6.5, 7 minutes into this half, and they're kind of back to playing the way they played in the first half. I think
another turnover. Here comes Peavy. Mack to Peavy.
I mean, that's inspiring. It is. Teams go on runs, and we've talked about it. It's really difficult playing with a huge lead, John.
Peavy with 5.
Oh,
that's deflected by Richmond. Now it's down to 3. You got 2 seconds from half court, and it's a shot clock violation with Fielder down on
basketball. The honey is right there in the middle, and everyone gets closer to the honey.
Catch and shoot for Peavy, and St. John's may have gotten a piece of that as Richmond correct. St. John's was up 26 at the half. Turnover here. They've got numbers. Up ahead to Micah Peavy with 2 hands. It's down to 16.
I do love, listen, they're not
minute scoring drought in this half. That's another turnover. They're 8th in the last 9.5 minutes. Peavy to Sorber, back to Peavy, blocked by Richmond.
That's a 6'6" point guard telling you to get that stuff. Haven't been out of the offensive sets, and St. John's is so athletically gifted that when you're trying to get your own shot off, even that, I mean, that's a great challenge there. I think that's by Wiltshire.
Here's Peavy, the transfer from TCU, with a pick from Sorber. And Peavy off the mark. Rebound for Kreese to Sondeko.
I like it, though. Stop by
Sorber going to work down low. Met with resistance from his Sondeko. Peavy. And he gets it to go.
That's really nice work by Drew Fielder. Keeping that really gives him another layer, not just on the offensive side, but defensively, more importantly, with his length and his athleticism. Oh, that can't happen. You got to have some. How about that dude? Standing a guy up, hands straight up.
Epps to Peavy for the flush. And Georgetown has run out to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, right. 12 to 15 footers.
Especially to unlock Pierre. He's struggled to score lately.
Yes.
Peavy fades away. And the Hoyas are shooting north of 70.
I think the crowd feels that, hey, Georgetown's having their way right now. And I agree with them.
There's a rejection for Arunse.
Surprised Williams didn't shoot that. They're trusting me, making sure that their babies are going to class, and rightfully so. This game is not going to last forever for a lot of these guys.
Oh, that's a nice roll for Peavy. Deflected away. The pass from Sorber trying to enter it to the low post. Peavy off the mark. Rebound to Sondeko.
Nice D by Joseph there, pushing Micah.
A little out of control.
Yeah, probably should have taken that 3. He's hot. That's good recovery defense by the defense.
Peavy off the mark from 3 is Sondeko the rebound. Double figures with 10. Peavy in trouble. Peavy gonna call his own number. Wow.
Well, we saw him shoot that shot in the first half. That
Peavy, the mid-range jumper. Sorber is there to pick up the loose ball. 6 to shoot. Peavy's got to go. Peavy, long two, got it! And Georgetown has the lead.
Extending, and then the last play to the left, it's just, Mila will get there. You know he will, but his comfort zone is at right hand.
7th double-double of the season for Sorber. 18 points, 11 rebounds.
7 minutes for Abdur-Rahim, but he has 6 points. That's how you come in and give your team a lift.
Showing some depth this afternoon. There's a rune save. Meeting Peavy. Sorber!
Do it in the air. Caught it. That's the priority. Gathered himself and finished.
Largest lead for Providence. Is it Peavy time?
Tell you, Peavy's a pro.
Rahim, and the rebound for Peavy.
And that gap is closing now. Georgetown only down 2 in terms of the glass. And look, there's a correlation between
Providence back up by 7.
Yeah, their energy has been so infectious this second half. Everyone playing the right way for Providence.
Cole unable to get the follow to drop. Curtis Williams back into the game for Georgetown. They need to hurry. Peavy knocks down a 3. There's a foul away from the ball.
Find if you're the Hoyas, and he makes them pay there.
5 players with 9 or more points for Providence. Peavy knocks it down. Peavy with 27. A new
picks it up off another Hoya stop. Seton Hall hasn't scored in 3 minutes. And a 7-0 Georgetown run, make it 9-0 as Peavy glides in.
Oh, and by the way, he can...
Up to 5. 1 left to give with a lot of time left in this first half. They go right inside to Micah Peavy.
How about that? Doesn't play around with the basketball. Once he should...
Talked about their movement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just you gotta have that continuity.
Peavy. Micah Peavy has been a game changer.
Somebody's got to stand up. Now you're just trying to play out of that. Ball's got to move. It's got to pop.
Peavy. Rebound to me, and Fielder was over the back. It's the last Hoya.
I know it's big shoes to fill, but the Mutombos.
Peavy can't connect. The Ewings, the Mornings.
The Hibberts. Now Georgetown's trying to figure it out with 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Down to 4. Micah Peavy takes it himself. It's at 2. Peavy, shot clock violation.
I mean, Nasser, I just don't think it was, it just wasn't a clean line to it.
Peavy off. Felton with it, joined by Jenkins. Toomey. Toomey is 24 years old. And he turns it over. Here's Epps. Up ahead, Peavy. Count it.
And he's earned that time, Felton.
Peavy got a step. Peavy went around 2 defenders, couldn't hit the bunny. Put back, and he'll go on the line for a pair.
I can't say it enough. You got to get touches to your big down low.
Peavy tied up with Yalden. It stays with Georgetown with 10.
It's just not a good play for
this year than in the past because he has to score more this year because of the guys that aren't here, like Baylor Shireman.
That is 30 straight games with a 3. The answer for Peavy, who just went over 1,000 points.
Can really force him to make tougher shots.
Sorber for 3, too strong. Williams with the rebound, though. There's the offensive board. Jumper up top for Peavy, that's short. And here's Ashworth leading the break. In, not much there. Epps pulls it out left wing. Free throw line for Sorber. Shot fake, puts it on the deck to the corner. 3 is no good.
I tell you, that kid Sorber, you know what else? He's got a great feel for this. Got to get over the top of that screen with him because he's such a good shooter.
Peavy putting on a dribbling display. Fadeaway jumper too strong, and the rebound is pulled down by the Blue Jays.
Not in love with that shot right there.
Long 3.
That was on the logo.
Peavy off the handoff. Peavy from 16. Jumper's good.
And you know, George,
Miller for 3. It's no good, too strong.
Boy, he can't buy one.
And Peavy sidewinding up the floor. Layup is no good. McAndrew cleans it up for the Blue Jays.
in the middle, then they have good passes from the outside to be able to lob those passes in. But in the half court, Georgetown is just making it too tough to be able to make those over-the-top passes. And on the catch, they're sandwiching them as quickly as possible. More two-man game as opposed to maybe Ashworth and Kalkbrenner 1-5 pick and roll. I'd like to see.
I think that's a great point because McAndrew's very good off the dribble.
Peavy's jumper no good. Ball is loose out of bounds. It's going to be Creighton basketball. Sorber has it blocked away. That was Neal who blocked it away, but Peavy picks his pocket, heads in, and a two-handed jam. This is an 11-point. And again, primary ball handler with Malik Mack out tonight with a knee injury. Gets to the rim, count the bucket.
They love running that ISO play for Peavy at the foul.
Look at 11 bench scoring points for Georgetown.
Yeah, it's huge.
And 0.
Peavy. It's his second rim run of the second half.
Step slowly. Maybe, I'm not saying tired, but
this guy's everywhere.
Well, Peavy again with another steal and another jam.
Let me tell you something.
His job's not done just because he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Kalkbrenner hands it. Oh, it's stolen again by Peavy. Third one of this half. Jams it home.
They need another ball handler. Ashworth is running to the ball.
Just got up to come back in the game, and Ed Cooley had him sit down again. And here's that zone.
I like this zone right now.
Peavy shoots over it, no good. Trout with the rebound.
I agree.
With 9:42 to play in the first half, but he is getting some rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
And now Peavy backs his way down. Peavy with a step off the glass. That was a quick pivot by Peavy. Epps looking in for Fielder. Outside for Peavy for three. Yes!
This guy.
His first taste is Syracuse, Georgetown, and he misses one at the rim. This is Micah Peavy. And this three-pointer grabbed by Lampkin for the game. Mike Cooley talking to us today about 14 new players. One of them is Peavy, their most experienced guy who opens the score. Fighting for the ball. He's on the deck. Lampkin is down. It's a 5-on-4 for Georgetown. Peavy will take advantage of it.
And that's where, and that was in transition, but regardless, if you're Joe
Carlos,
you are. He looks a lot more comfortable. Really nice cut there. Poor communication by Georgetown.
Good shot by Peavy. Here's Lampkin. Then Lampkin for the Syracuse bucket. Deep shot clock, Peavy. Georgetown has been way off the mark from three. Here we go. They've gone really cold from the field. Epps from Fielder. Back to Fielder on a low skidding pass, and then Peavy with a slash and slam.
Micah Peavy was a great find. Plays all of it.
Highest rated recruit to come here since Carmelo Anthony back in 2003. Another missed three by Peavy. One for again. 37-36 of Georgetown edge. Epps off a screen from Fielder. And Peavy nearly tipped it in right over the top of Chris Bell. Carlos passes up an open three and then throws it away in search of Freeman. Boy is quickly out on the break. Nobody even saw Peavy. And another way too easy transfer. That classic Jim Boeheim wry smile on his face. Talking to Red Autry about Dikembe. Sorber's miss tapped out by Peavy. And Red tournament games in his career. Peavy, you mentioned a career Texas Tech, TCU. Peavy just bullying his way in again. This time Taylor got a piece from behind. See if the act. Peavy. Drive and finish for Micah Peavy. And for that foundation. I've seen a lot of these great games over the years. 6-point lead for Syracuse. Peavy missed a layup. And it will go to Fielder against Freeman. Sorber has really stepped up. Great find, Peavy. Holding, and the miss is not followed up by Mack.
That flex cut.
George game, Epps and Fielder. 10 to shoot for Peavy. Peavy fires from three. No good. Sorber offensive rebound.
And second group that lost a little of that mojo. Now they've got to bring it back.
Peavy, a reverse layup, wild shot, misses. He had a tremendous trip to the Bahamas. Scored 31 against Gonzaga, 26 against Louisville. Mack going to work, lost it right to Peavy. That's a physical take from Peavy, but it rolls off. Mack, nice crossover. Inside, Micah Peavy with the putback. Time
part of a rebuilding process for a very good program.
And now how does Georgetown respond? Their first road game, another block shot. Peavy corrals it though.
In, as Jaden Epps did earlier in the game. And then the run out and dunk. That's nice.
Nice shot by Peavy.
He's got development offensively and defensively.
Georgetown coming up with a steal, pushing the pace a little bit. Here's Peavy. Can't convert. And then out.
Well, Georgetown just got very familiar because that was a cash money three from the corner.
He made 6 3-pointers in a game earlier this year, in and out for Micah Peavy, the Texas.
2 feet in the paint is a danger zone. That's the scoring area.
Peavy on the drive, too strong. Fielder not able to corral the rebound. Peavy taking time to set things up. Gets it back from Sorber. The drive and the easy finish for Micah Peavy.
The young fella Sorber, he shot a step back 2 contested. Some of those shots you have to live with.
Here's Mack, pump fake. Gets it back over to Peavy, wide open, too strong. Fielder fighting for them.
Because when you don't get a shot up, it takes away offensive rebounding opportunities. It takes away opportunities for you to get your defense set. And it gives the other team confidence. Georgetown has lived and thrived off of turnovers from UMBC.
Jump stop by Johnson and has it ripped away by Jaden Epps. Calling for the oop. Peavy unable to throw down the reverse. Fielder still one run.
The youth right now is showing for the Hoyas the way that they're ending this first half. Not competing.
Well, and there's the grandpa of the bunch, Micah Peavy.
And they're relying on their youth to gain experience early in the year to help them in Big East play.
In and out by Epps, and then the throw down from Peavy. Plus 10. They were just dominating, really on both sides of the court, but definitely in the paint. Dunwo gets a piece of that one, however. Yeah, you know these guys aren't going to let up even when they're up by 24. Peavy back into the game off the mark.
This is the first major team that they are facing, though, this year. Peavy from the elbow, got it. To the nation. Good look, would not sit down for Peavy. They're going to get a foul call on the rebound. But now a third try for the Hoyas. Fielder backing his man down and finding the corner. They want to play inside out, and they did. Big room, it's likely we're not going to see them here today. He's showing a bit of a zone look. And Peavy slices right through it down the lane. That breaks the 12-0 run. 5-point ball game right now. Georgetown on top. Staying right at it. The rebound down for Amari Marshall. Wayne Killings imploring his team to play defense. It looked like he was in a defensive stance over on that side. Off the miss. Ball's going back the other way. Beat Puerto Rico Mayaguez, Kansas City, and they were down 20 to American. As Peavy hits on his shot, and we'll have a 4-point game. Great Danes are staying in that zone.
And that's what they're hoping to get right there. Hoping that they'll force Georgetown to shoot a couple threes.
threes and clean up the rebounds.
Boy has a chance to press the advantage before halftime. Fielder did a good job of saving the possession. And Peavy drains the three. Georgetown a chance to keep their foot on the accelerator now here late in the half. Peavy, same spot. Can't get the same result.
That's a heat check right there.
Peavy on the drive. That couldn't get any easier. Came wide open in the left corner, and nobody got a body on Sorber. Pick and roll, and good quick hands from Micah Peavy. He'll pay it off himself. For Briggs, another rebound. This has gone from competitive ball game early to full-size blowout right now here in the second half.
They ran a play to get Mack ISO'd on the elbow. He had the lane wide open, didn't want to force it, and ran the offense. Good patience.
Micah Peavy comes up short. He had 24 last time out on Saturday.
For the Seahawks.
Ray Howell South can't tie, and the Hoyas will run. Peavy to the basket. Out of control, no foul call, but it stays with Georgetown.
They're mixing up their defenses right now. They're in the matchup zone. They go full court pressure to a matchup zone just to throw the Hoyas off a little bit, and they'll go back to the man-to-man.
Peavy catches in. That's how you beat the zone.
Well, what happens is Peavy.
Away. So Georgetown resets with Peavy. Oh, moves here. Micah Peavy. Stays with Georgetown. Nice box out from home.
Run hard, get tip-ins, play with an awful lot of energy.
Here's Peavy. Nifty move off the window.
You know what's interesting in this game? Sorber's been the facilitator.
Shoot. Here's Matt. Short offensive rebound Fielder. Peavy knocks down the three. And Georgetown's built up a fifth. That's Matt Peavy. Fielder and Sorber. The trees down low. Oh, nice pass from Sorber. Peavy. Fielder tips the rebound. And Georgetown again back. 15-0 Georgetown run. Almost 8 minutes into the second half. Peavy again. Why not? Oh, Georgetown can't miss right. Sorber the rebound. Peavy short. Downs the rebound, playing in front of his family and friends in his season debut.
7 NCAAs. Won a regular season title, a tournament title. Peavy, nice running. A little flip shot there, Micah Peavy, grad student. He's played at Texas Tech.
He's going to have a lot of defensive focus because they're going to work that shot clock each and every possession.
Peavy spinning in the lane, no. Fielder right at the cup, lays it in. Peavy back the other way. And step back. Got it. Boy, good rhythm too. Micah Peavy.
Peavy starting this.
Open man Peavy. 3 ball. Yes. So he's Fielder. Peavy's been the hot man. Still feeling it. Lets it rip. Side iron that time.
What I've been impressed early on with the Hoyas.
Getting into the bench a little bit. Jordan Burks, an electric player. Came in from Kentucky, a transfer. And Hoyas, Micah Peavy is feeling it big time today. He's preseason 3rd team all Big East. Feed the post. Peavy, why not? And a rebound ripped down by Chris Moncrief. By Hailefiuono. Gets it back. Oh, good look. Dunk for Peavy. Peavy's got Williams hanging with it to get a new clock. Peavy. Foul line jumper. Man, good rebound in there.
The Hoyas couldn't convert, but those were 2 really good positions.
Missed his first 4 shots. Didn't pout, didn't panic. Good cut. Down low. And finishing off the play is Micah. Peavy's having a fabulous start here in the first half. The red flash at St. Francis University.
Execution, and they've been solid on the defensive end. That's how they got back into this ball game.
Peavy, one and done. He was the hot hand to start the first 5.
The Sorber, who the red flash had absolutely no answer for. They need to go back to that.
Sorber just knocked down Cranford, and a 3-ball by Peavy.
Getting laid out on the floor.
Nice steal. Fielder helped make that play develop with that defense. Fielder with the rebound, puts it up, and he'll shoot a couple free throws.
Caught him off guard temporarily, trying to figure it out.
Rebound by Fielder. Peavy works his way free and hits.
You know, every time the Warriors have needed an answer to what the red flag.
A 3 missed by Kelly. Peavy. Wide left on that shot. They keep it alive. Good job by Moncrief to tip it back. Certain situations are right, and I'll help you.
Yeah, he's aware of the times.
Alley-oop and missed. Put back, missed by Sorber, who does return to the game. That's a great sign.
He's that kind of guy. You know, he's all over the place.
Another steal. Over-the-shoulder catch. Peavy step back, in and out. Burks gets it out. Peavy, that's a 3-ball. Nothing doing there. Loose ball, Moncrief. 15-1 run by George. Lead by a dozen. Sorber. Peavy throws it up, and it goes. It's been that kind of game for him. Strong start, strong finish. Great change of pace. Peavy staying high.
Again, good basketball. Penetration by Mack.
Georgetown didn't defend with enough energy last game. As Cooley said, they're bringing the energy by trapping a little bit early in the game.
Here's Peavy for 3. There's that outside look. Georgetown wide open look out of the corner. Kade Grebe. No on the 3. In transition, the rise and the flush. What a start for Micah Peavy. He's an assistant. I could see that in doses for the now. Here's Peavy again, and he's 1 point shy of 1,000. And they're led by Peavy's 10. He's a point shy of 1,000 for his career. Peavy for 1,000. No milestone there. I get another chance. Down low defensively. Here's Peavy. Still sitting on 999. Mack off the screen. Finagling inside. 5 to shoot. Here's Peavy. Milestone for Micah with the bounce.
It's not just his scoring, it's his activity, his energy, chasing down loose balls, talking to guys. Really opened the game up for Jordan.
Jordan Cornette here. Coming up on the Xfinity Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Jalen Rose and Coach John.
Thank you, Jordan Cornette. We appreciate it. 10-point game here late in the first half in D.C. And Jordan Cornette, we see you too via the time machine. February. Sorber fighting for positioning. Now he gets it. They double. That double came right away.
And Burton knows what the end goal is. Get a bucket. Be strong.
See what he did last year nationally, close to 18 points per game. Top 3 freshmen. Averaged over 20 points.
To see which guys they can still count on to play the right way. You know, the coaches learn a lot about their players when they're up big. If you're trying to take volume shooter, sometimes when you're a volume shooter, you think, okay, he's going to shoot a lot, so he's going to score a lot. But he's got to the foul line 8 times.
Look at the ball movement. Matt Alacco has been fantastic. 7.
Es el grandioso evento de los Black Friday Deals de Walmart del 25 de noviembre hasta el 1 de diciembre.
That playoff spot on Senior Day coming up from South Bend. And for Notre Dame men's basketball, this has been a complete performance.
For him, during the course of the entire of the preseason and into the early season has been his team's defensive play.
And most teams are trying to find an identity, especially on the offensive end.
Nothing. And the Hoyas now have a chance to run in transition. Peavy tried to will that ball into the hoop, and Johnson comes down with a rebound for Fairfield.
Really screener action to get Sorba the layup.
And now quick hands on the outside. Peavy on the run.
Talking about defense at the outset, there's a guy that has become quickly the offensive end of taking advantage of what the defense could give him.
Hoyas can tie or take the lead, and off the missed dunk, here comes Fairfield back the other way.
Wanted to get the dunk for Peavy, but really good offense that time.
Peavy pulled the string, left it short. You're going to get a held ball, and possession arrow belongs.
Scramble for the basketball. Sparks opportunistic, got it, and laid it up on the other end.
Up on top, and that one is good.
Second three-pointer. Good recovery by Epps that time.
Peavy stepping back. And a rebound ripped down by Lewis Bleachmore. Safety picks it off. It's outside. Peavy was lined up, couldn't hit it.
I'll take that.
It's in that first half. Peavy driving, great switch of the hand to the left side, and the freshman there to clean it up.
Shown throughout this game.
Peavy just pulling his way down the lane, and the ball goes out of bounds.
But he looked like he knew what he was doing that time with a shot fake, one dribble puller.
On the cut, great play defensively by Bleachmore.
Freshman swap in terms of big men. And another bucket for Micah Peavy. Freshman Hank Alvey. Peavy, the TCU transfer. And they've already got 4. Little runner there from Micah Peavy. That earlier today. Get to that later on. As Sorber's back into the game for Georgetown. Dishes it off for Peavy. Step back. Oh, that's pretty.
Peavy's really showing it. Fast, kind of a blur.
Epps to Peavy. Another step back. He's comfortable with that move, it appears. Floater. The rebound for Peavy. Gonna take it the length of the floor and get it to go. Georgetown back on top. Signals here as Georgetown has a 1-point lead as we approach the 1-minute mark. Peavy feeling it. Now up to 16 points here in the first half, leading all the way and get nothing. Peavy, another spin move and another lay-in. Micah Peavy uncut. Peavy again. It's way too long. For Lehigh here, you got to think somebody other than Gillis or Higgins is going to have to chip in a big way for them to get back in this thing. There's Whitney Sidney, their leading scorer from a year ago, and right on cue. Playing without a shoe. He's back behind. Drew Fielder looking inside for Peavy. That one almost went down, comes right back out. Rebound to Ingram here in the second half. Get another one here, outside, and it'll feed Peavy. Mid-range jumper's good. Feed at the rim to Peavy, came down with it, gathered, and couldn't get the turnaround to go.
got Fielder in a one-on-one. Dixon long.
Playing with fire there. That's an easy one for Dixon.
But Dixon now 0 for 5. Longino. He can't hit either. Here comes Peavy. Let's face it, the pressure's on Villanova to win this game, and you can feel it in the...
How this game is looked on a variety of levels.
Poplar had that altered by Matt. Villanova now 2 for 15 from downtown.
Sophomore year, he was 5 for 30 from 3. 5 for 30.
Fielder and Buachi blocked that. Or at least got enough of a piece of it that it'll count as a rejection. Peavy off. That was... They're fighting for their life. Longino with 3. Longino for the lead. It's short. Georgetown wins and completes a regular season sweep of Nova.
Trying to protect the paint.
This is what they used in the first meeting between these two teams. Joplin is off on his opening attempt, and Micah Peavy brings in the rebound. Benson among the best teams in the country in turnover margin at +6 as Peavy couldn't hit. Shot clock didn't reset. Peavy got it off with 1 on the timer and was fouled. It is just ingrained in their DNA. Peavy can't snap Georgetown out of the run. Offensive rebound to Malik Mack. He's short. And Gold, how about Gold's activity?
Symbolic number for a lot of reasons, but you know, you're legal at that point, right?
Yeah. There's Micah Peavy with the putback.
Now, Peavy's going to keep playing hard, and this is an experiment. When we talked to Shaka Smart, he said he reminds him of Stephon Castle last year, who's thriving in the NBA right now, the former UConn Husky. He's certainly a top 10 player in the Big East, and I'd be surprised if he's not an all Big East selection as he continues to make plays in
game. Caravan kicks the ball short from 3. Rebound. Peavy goes behind the back as Georgetown gets into their set. He's sent for the field over his last 3. Liam McNeely left alone in the corner, and the rebound ripped down by Peavy. How about Peavy muscling his way into the problems in DC in the first matchup?
Well, you see the absence of Thomas Sorber right away. Kalkbrenner an offensive rebound. McAndrew can't hit on the reload, and it's an empty trip for the Jays. Sorber thought about the transition 3. Now he catches off the flare, elevates this time from the corner. This is what Georgetown wants to do, too, the pace.
Defensively, you feel that void, and of course on the rebounding as well.
Ashworth snakes into the lane, can't get it to go out the window, and Peavy skies for the rebound. Absent transition, slicing through the paint. Ashworth, 10 to shoot.
Look at this movement from Ashworth.
Leads to an elbow jumper that he left short. Run. Neal gives Kalkbrenner. Green. No. Crazy sequence. Peavy tried to leave it back. McAndrew.
Better get on him. He's hunting here.
Ashworth downhill to the basket. Won't get it to go. Peavy the rebounds. Epps darts into the...
Boy, has this game flipped. Creighton has just started to impose their will inside on the glass.
Minus 14 on the glass in the first meeting. Neal spins into the paint. That's a tough shot. Ashworth, 5 on the shot clock, heaves up a 3, it won't go. Scramble for the rebound underneath, and it's Micah Peavy who comes up with it.
Ahmed Cooley.
Kalkbrenner touch pass, Ashworth from the corner, no. There's a foul on the rebound that goes against Isaac Trout.
Peaking at the right time. Greg McDermott's pressed a lot of the right buttons.
Zugic. This one's off the mark, and Peavy leaps for the rebound.
I like that Ed Cooley is sticking with the zone, though, even though there's been a couple of bucks.
Chazik shovels it to Neal. Sidesteps the defender. Kicks to Trout for 3. No.
Got a trailer.
It's Fielder who's short, but Peavy, how about the know-how?
He does a little bit of everything. I would like to have seen the mantra when you go to the defensive glass.
Peavy with a spin. That was rejected by Asandico. Peavy got it back, down to 10. Down to 10. Fernandez attacking, out of control, and Peavy corrals, and he is looking to score. With the 3 fouls, Asandico cannot hit either. About an 11-second difference between shot and game. Peavy had barrier. Scoreless thus far. Stays that way. Tipped out to Peavy. They've got numbers. Burks. And one. How about Jordan Burks?
If you know what I mean.
There's Mila. And Providence has been able
to... they broke the ball loose.
Score 7 straight. They could not finish, though. Oh, it would have been a big swing. To get some momentum.
Here, Jaden Epps still in the ball game out of the timeout. As screen backs down on Sorber. Into him, he forced it up and was stopped by the rim.
Good defense. Sorber kept his arm up.
Locked down the stretch of that game, helped them close it out. Kapke. Good closeout by Fielder. It's a 3 on one end. He defends on the other. Fred Cooley. Mack quick trigger. Shooting from Malik Mack. Harvard transfer. McCaffrey, quick trigger on his end. He's been hitting those these last few weeks. He has to get to 1,000. He has 24 points with 6:15 to go. Peavy took a tough shot, screen, enveloped him. Peavy got it back and hits Mack. Another offense who's gone 15 plus in his last 4. Epps. Peavy gets it back, long 2. Another offensive rebound. Sharp. Burks was fouled. North Dakota State as these games that they just couldn't find a way in. And this wasn't the same thing. It's not going to be a single-digit final, but Georgetown was up early.
What you guys have learned in the film room and apply that to the court.
Duval goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. And no surprise, 7-game win streak for Seton Hall in the series against Georgetown.
And then now that goes back to familiarity. Doesn't matter. You know, if I'm Coleman, I just offensive weapon, and you're going to have to continue to shoot through your misses.
Epps has shot through 2 misses now from 3. Passes up another look. Curtis Williams Jr. through Bolton. Coleman's hit both of his 3-point shots today. He kicks it out to Felton, that 3 off the heel. Peavy the rebound for Georgetown.
I'll tell you what, Coleman, Peavy, they're better than me. Ace.
Coleman puts his head down. Crowd wanted an offensive foul.
I like that they let them battle right there faster.
Peavy jumps the route. 2-on-1. Curtis Williams. Peavy misses the layup alley-oop on the second try. He puts it home.
Peavy back inside to Sorber. And Sorber just using the body. He is big. Put on about 20 is. Peavy, the grad transfer with the ball right now. One of the few guys that they got in the portal that wasn't a freshman. One of them that was a freshman is the guy there, Malik Mack.
Probably needs to kick that one out. Pretty sure someone else is wide open.
There's
even though
Peavy.
he fought hard for the rebound.
Showing those hands again. Then a pretty pass to Jordan Burks for the finish. And
BC they're just struggling to find any good offense.
yeah, you see Ed Cooley said in practice as they work it inside to Sorber. In between 2 defenders, takes his time. When he talked to Jim Ferry, he knew that was going to be difficult to deal with. What a look down low to Mack.
Peavy dropping it down to his guy, Matt. With contest every shot, ball pressure. They got to continue to play hard and build those good habits.
Adunuo with the defense, not good enough this time against Drew Fielder.
Wayne Killings was talking about the fact that as the team that they are and the situation they are, as Sorber finds his way inside, Albany's going to try to take the fight right at Georgetown. Alley-oop. And nobody saw Burks coming on the baseline. I think Albany only turns it over 9 times a game. They've got 7 of them here in 12 minutes. Once again, that back cut along the baseline, and this time Dwayne Killings calls a timeout.
A ton of three-point shots going in. You surely have to key in on him and make sure you know where he is and not allow that.
That would almost look too easy as Epps got straight down the lane and got the pretty feed from Peavy. Side then in. Wasn't squared up for that shot through the lane.
Beautiful pass.
Right now, Georgetown is taking control of this ball game. The drive this time, Lindsey can't pay it off, and here we go back the other way. Fielder got his legs taken out, and he made it anyway. 3-point play opportunity, great box. Rather play your offensive sets in the half court. Or do that.
Nice back screen from Jaden Epps. Just to play in. A typical Big East game, there's bodies flying, people getting hit, sometimes blood drawn.
And now a 15-0.
The best shot that they can possibly come up with.
Lewis, how about Peavy again? Burks, look out.
The Hoyas all over it defensively. If you're Coach Cooley, you got.
It's a 22-4 split for the Hoyas in the second half. Mack again. Return to the Mack. He's special. Still battling. This is why he's playing as a freshman, but Georgetown comes away. Peavy up top. Look out. Burks, his third hammer.
Again, Burks.
Say go to this zone is to stay a little patient in your half-court sets.
Rosenberger with the foul is first, and a foul on a 3-point shooter, and that's a 4-point opportunity for Jaden Epps.
You gotta love it when you watch.
Georgetown gets on the attack first. Peavy had fabulous start early in the game. Sorber, early touch for him, right out of the locker room.
First possession, not surprised at all. That way.
Peavy, cross court, Epps, feeder set, he fires, he hits.
Makes it look good. Makes it look good. That time, good penetration by the Warriors.
7:56.
Again, they're back to the matchup 2-3 zone, trying to slow the Hoyas down a little bit.
Epps way outside. Drano.
Epps has an answer. Epps is one of the
loose ball, contact, they let him play. Epps. Oh, yeah, behind the back and converted by Jordan Burks.
When you look at the...
Because he worked hard.
Yeah.
Epps takes it. Contact. Gives it up. Peavy, alley-oop. Hey, now.
You know...
Peavy. Slicing. Nice find. Halifa Noah right off the bench.
Up here for Mount St. Mary's. Hopefully try to keep Georgetown on the perimeter, force them into taking some tough threes.
Here's Epps from the perimeter, and he's got it. Everything's working for the Hoyas.
You see Coach Donnie.
Here's Peavy. Nice feed for Sorber. Rolls it in. That touch inside from Thomas Sorber. That's Mack for 3. Can't beat the shot clock. Halifa Noah with the offensive rebound. Big man going to work. Rolls it in.
Point game.
One of the things Chris likes to do is use a little full court pressure. That time, put pressure on the ball coming up the floor.
Game wide open for Mack on a back cut.
Really good split game.
Georgetown won just 9 games last year, trying to turn it around here. And Thomas Sorber wants to be part of what does exactly that.
Or other side of the floor if he doesn't have it.
Peavy throws it through. Epps for 3. Got it! Coolly about him before the game. I said skills. Raised his eyebrows like, oh yeah. He's wide open there. And right now he is just dominating this game as Georgetown has pushed it out to the chance to catch and shoot. Elected to pass it up.
He understood time and score that time.
Now he's got the shot, and now he hits it.
There were a lot of juniors and seniors that don't make the
league was explosive scoring.
And Gillis, the sophomore guard, off of Tyler Whitney. Early on.
He can stretch it.
And he does. Here's the freshman, Julius.
Micah, way too strong. Peavy lost it, another turnover. Now DePaul with some numbers if they hurry. Rivera has been on a tear the last couple.
This is going to be interesting where they go. Can't just turn into a perimeter game for Georgetown.
Peavy just lost the basketball, and then he gets hit on the way down inadvertently.
At times this season, an opponent like Xavier really put a lot of pressure on DePaul. They've done a much better job getting back in transition on Georgetown as Micah Peavy extends the elbow.
Against this zone. Get that basketball to the middle of the floor. I'd like to see Peavy get a touch here.
It's out of bounds. Curtis Williams bounce pass.
It's Georgetown team with Sorber on the floor, top 30 in defense. That's just a rough pass.
I don't know what Peavy was seeing there.
Third foul on Buachi. He is the only man with 3, and Georgetown turns it over. Just their 5th turnover. Peavy.
Good trap by Gold, and that was very impactful with his length to get that deflection, causing a steal. And that's and for a guy with a usage rate as high as him to have an assist to turnover ratio like that, very impressive, and a good defensive possession right there for Marquette. With the pressure by
To go, the question, will it be too little too late, or can Georgetown keep riding this? Peavy, offensive foul. Brian O'Connell whistles Peavy for it.
Individual on-ball defense is so important to stop guys, stay in front of guys, play passing lanes. Just like that.
Back in the game after sitting for a spell. Peavy has it popped away. Tie up. Possession arrow to the Huskies.
That's great work by Solo Ball to get to the floor. Those plays, so maybe put that third foul on Fielder.
Both teams shooting better than 50%. Steal from Terrace Reed into the front court. And he throws it down.
Bit of a quick spurt here. They pulled within 1. Peavy's had the hot hand, 13 for Georgetown, and he gets called for the offensive foul with that off forearm.
Wow. You don't see that.
No. Crazy sequence. Peavy tried to leave it back. McAndrew had it, and he's called for steps. The ball stays with the Hoyas.
Game in Providence when Peavy and Sorber combined for 52
of the 68. Now a turnover and a foul. And if that's on Fielder.
But at noon, it's a building at noon, if you know what I mean.
There's Mila. And Providence has been able
and
to
they broke the ball loose.
Score 7 straight. They could not finish, though. Oh, it would have been a big swing.
So find the big fella. Yanni's out there so he can be aggressive. And the other thing is, you can get stuck on possessions and start trying to force plays instead of just running these kind of games.
Coleman up to 6 for Seton Hall. Epps hooks it to Sorber at the free throw line. Through Peavy's hands, ball's been a little slippery for Georgetown to start the game. 4 turnovers now.
And emotions start going, so you want to be able to calm your team down, and so maybe that is a concerted effort, is to make sure we get a quality shot.
Well, Seton Hall with a takeaway. Seton Hall has just one, Isaiah Coleman. That's a foul on Georgetown. They saddle Micah Peavy with
mindset. He's 6'8", and he gets to his spots, and he's been finishing well.
And Peavy took it in on him. Fight for the loose ball, jump ball. Arrow at Xavier.
I'm telling you, it distorts passing lanes. You think it's there, and it's not.
Peavy filled the lane. Fremantle camped out, tapped it from behind, and Maddox picks it up.
Peavy lost it on his own. And it hit the leg of Williams. Butler ball.
Georgetown wants it over there on the side.
10-1 Red Storm run. And now Peavy slow to get up. Up ahead to Lewis with one hand.
Peavy, shot fake.
Tried to thread the needle, it's knocked away. Sondako the steal.
For you to play more freely, and you see that today. He's really, that stroke looks nice and confident.
Oh, looked like Peavy got crowded at the top of the key. Now, why is it being kept in mind for Providence? They've lost 4 of their last 5 when leading at the half. They have a losing record leading at the half. But off to a good start defensively here.
And that kills you.
Teams in the Big East.
Yeah, and if they come at you, they play hard, intense basketball. Ed Cooley is really getting this up and coming, making some changes.
Ed Cooley. Hoya's in need of a bucket here. More than 3 minutes since their last points. And that's going to go back to Villanova. She clears to Jaden Epps. Peavy turned it over.
And notice the way they're not running and looking to go down the floor. Georgetown had the balance.
You know, the crazy thing is, this is the new day of college basketball. When did you see teams have not 1 minute back from the year before? Never. Now you do.
Only team in the country. No points back from last year. Amazing. They got the bench effective early for the ball. Georgetown sloppy. Out of sorts. Turn it over.
That's been their problem. In Big East games, they're averaging 6. They're averaging
scoring. Really, the one thing they need to work on is just knocking down more threes.
And a turnover on the opening possession as Richmond picked that off.
Oh, by the way, defensively, they're pretty darn good as well. Obviously, Malik Mack, they have the wherewithal to be able to break this pressure, but it has to be a better pass from Micah Peavy inbounds.
And Epps just in his warm-up on the bench for Georgetown. Hoyas need a bucket. It's Peavy. He traveled.
So this is what St. John's.
Curtis Williams checks into the game and triggers in the inbounds, and now we've got an unfortunate slip and turnover by Peavy. Ross had checked it, win this game this afternoon.
Great defense right there by Diarra.
Trying to split the double team, Mac.
Oh, wow.
Turned
He got
it over.
tripped.
Yep.
Wow.
Chiazza with a
well in, the freshman out of Philly. I love this kid, number 0 in white. Gives him toughness. Look at that. Right on cue.
Absolutely.
He deserves more time, and he is a tough kid. Athleticism, block. Close that gap a little bit of how far you have to run.
This is a big sequence there for Georgetown to try to carve into this lead.
Bad pass.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes of any half is critical.
And one of the best in America the last 3 seasons at reading those pin downs, coming up with his hands ready to catch and shoot.
A little high-low game and an offensive foul with a hook. Well, that time you just saw.
Ball moving for Marquette. Taken away by Peavy. Owens on his hip. Puts it home.
Peavy to Ashworth. Ashworth toward the paint. He's leading the way for Creighton tonight.
Great.
That's a tough pass.
But I'll tell you what, Caleb Williams there, that was a great help on fronting the post.
Posted back to the basket, which primarily is what I did.
And Sorber has it blocked away. That was Neal who blocked it away, but Peavy picks his pocket, heads in, and a two-handed jam.
I know it's not a big number, but when you look at 11 bench scoring points for Georgetown,
yeah, it's huge.
And 0
Peavy.
Nothing to say there, but just he just seems like a step slow. He may be, I'm not saying tired, but
this guy's everywhere.
Well, Peavy again with another steal and another jam.
Rotation and ball movement for sure. So his job's not done just because he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Kalkbrenner hands it. Oh, it's stolen again by Peavy. Third one of this half. Jams it home.
They need another ball handler.
He wasn't doing much anyways. He might as well go small.
And there's Neal with the steal. Sorber is back in the game with the errant pass, but then Neal dribbled it off his foot. That may have been a backcourt violation. Yeah, that was a good call. And a rebound ripped down by Jason Green. Ty Davis up the floor. 2:45 to play. Peavy initiated the steal. Williams.
Syracuse. Carlos to find the back-cutting Davis, a takeaway. Eddie Lampkins just tried.
Native who finished up his high school career at Southern California Academy.
Boise, Idaho, all the way out here in Washington, D.C. How about that?
Not exactly a high school. NBC comes up with it.
Maybe that one's fielded. Next time probably needs to kick that one out. Pretty sure someone else is wide open, even though he fought hard for the rebound.
Showing those hands again, then a pretty with the easy 2. You give the Hoyas a 4-point lead here with just under a minute to go in the first half. And the turnover from Jordan. Here comes Peavy again. Go to him in the paint almost every time, but they can't give the ball away like Jaden Epps just did. And Jordan loses the handle. Open look for Mack.
Adjusted pretty well. They've done a good job of creating lanes for their men to drive or a three-point opportunity on the outside. Whatever Ed Cooley said worked. Peavy almost how physical is it?
I think the Big East is one of the most physical conferences to play in. A typical Big East game, there's bodies flying, people getting hit, sometimes blood drawn.
And for his first action of the game for UAlbany, the rebound from Atulu, the freshman. They're trying for a little bit more showtime right there, but
transition because he's such an adept passer. He's not one of those guys that forces shots.
RJ Green ripped away. Here comes Peavy. Esquera reads the eyes for Wagner.
That's by the Seahawks. They're not rushing, they're probing, trying to get the best shot that they can possibly come up with.
Lewis, how about Peavy again? Burks, look out. Here we are on the hilltop. Second and final game here at McDonough this season for Georgetown. With 3 to shoot, the swarming defense, and Sorber with the save. 2-on-1.
And he's been very unselfish, and he seems like he's been okay with it in this game. A lot of times you see guys pressing it when they're not getting their shots. He's just let the game come to him. And if it's meant for someone else, Georgetown wanted it in the first half. You want Georgetown just to stop coming after you. You know, you want to breathe a little bit, and the Hoyas aren't giving them any inches.
Possession arrow favors the Hoyas, not giving.
Got to figure some things out here. Down 15, and a steal, and it's going to be a foul. It's going to be a foul on Georgetown's Micah Peavy.
Few of the red flags getting laid out on the floor.
Nice steal. Fielder helped make that play develop with that defense. Fielder with the rebound, battling for it under big-time duress. Kelly to Moncrief, he got hit, loose ball, contact, they let him play. Epps. Oh, yeah, behind the back. Hey.
Peavy, bad pass. It's intercepted. Hard, running the break. Peavy gets right back. Cadre Kebe, the interception.
On the inside.
Really good screen-to-screener action to get Sorber the layup.
And now quick hands on the outside. Peavy on the run.
Talking about defense at the outset, there's a guy I think yet on the offensive Hoyas again, but I think they're doing really good things as defense has led to offense. Just have to be able to contribute and have the other end work for them. Another steal.
First half.
No full court pressure.
And Peavy playing NFL safety picks it off.
Good basketball team.
That was just a turnover that happened in slow motion. And an alley-oop.
Drives to the basket, create really good offensive opportunities.
That's a bounce pass that Johnson never saw coming.
Out of bounds play for Georgetown.
And Epps gets it picked right out of his own pocket. And right back again. Steal, steal, steal. And now you got a foul call.
And not give up any open shots.
12 seasons at Providence. Comes to Georgetown. Peavy took it away, then got knocked to the ground. Might have. Peavy, a dynamic player, and Coach Reed wanted a timeout, didn't get it in time. Williams.
Did pretty well. They've a good job of creating lanes for their men to drive or a three-point opportunity on the outside. Whatever Ed Cooley said worked. Peavy almost how physical is it?
I think the Big East is one of the most physical conferences to play in. A typical Big East game, there's bodies flying, people getting hit, sometimes blood drawn.
And for his first action of the game for UAlbany, the rebound from Matulu, the freshman. They're trying for a little bit more showtime right there, but
transition because he's such an adept passer. He's not one of those guys that forces shots.
RJ Green ripped away. Here comes Peavy. Mascara reads the eyes for Wagner.
That's by the Seahawks. They're not rushing, they're probing, trying to get the best shot that they can possibly come up with.
Lewis, how about Peavy again? Burke, look out. Here we are on the hilltop. Second and final game here at McDonough this season for Georgetown. With 3 to shoot, the swarming defense, and Sorber with the save. 2-on-1.
And he's been very unselfish, and he seems like he's been okay with it in this game. A lot of times you see guys pressing it when they're not getting their shots. He's just let the game come to him. And if it's meant for someone else, Georgetown won it in the first half. You want Georgetown just to stop coming after you. You know, you want to breathe a little bit, and the Hoyas aren't giving him any inches.
Possession arrow favors the Hoyas, not giving.
Got to figure some things out here. Down 15, and a steal, and it's going to be a foul. It's going to be a foul on Georgetown's Micah Peavy.
Few of the red flags getting laid out on the floor.
Nice steal. Fielder helped make that play develop with that defense. Fielder with the rebound, battling for it under big-time duress. Kelly to Moncrief, he got hit, loose ball, contact, they let him play. Epps. Oh, yeah, behind the back. Hey.
Peavy, bad pass. It's intercepted. Ord running the break. Peavy gets right back. Kadre Kebe, the interception.
On the inside.
Really good screen-to-screener action to get Sorber the layup.
And now quick hands on the outside. Peavy on the run.
Talking about defense at the outset, there's a guy I think yet on the offensive Hoyas again, but I think they're doing really good things as defense has led to offense. Just have to be able to contribute and have the other end work for them. Another steal.
First half.
No full court pressure.
And Peavy playing NFL safety picks it off.
Good basketball team.
That was just a turnover that happened in slow motion. And an alley-oop.
Drives to the basket, create really good offensive opportunities.
That's a bounce pass that Johnson never saw coming.
Out of bounds play for Georgetown.
And Epps gets it picked right out of his own pocket. And right back again. Steal, steal, steal. And now you got a foul call.
And not give up any open shots.
12 seasons at Providence. Comes to Georgetown. Peavy took it away, then got knocked to the ground. Might have. Peavy, a dynamic player, and Coach Reed wanted a timeout, didn't get it in time. Williams.
Hands guys and Fielder.
Jones. How crafty is Cam Jones?
You know, he's so too much defensive rotation for the Golden Eagles.
Cam Jones all the way to the hole.
And he just wanted to get to the rim. He didn't want to settle.
Micah Peavy, again, 25 points per game in February, coming off a 30-burger against Providence. Already 3 threes early. This guy can score. He's been banged up all year, but he scored 30 or more last year 7 times.
Ashworth does not have the answer the other way. Mason Miller
scoring his first points in 21 minutes of game time. Now crossover. Can he ignite? Everything but the end result was the right
game this week could definitely help his performance.
No field goals for Butler in the last 4 minutes. That changes with Pierre Brooks aggressive again.
One of the best players, and you're not getting touches how you normally do. Sometimes people have a tend to rush and force.
Felton tried the high glass, it didn't.
No argument here. No argument here.
Swain on the cross. And got it, plus the foul.
Now it is Butler up 2 after Georgetown got off to a great start. But the second unit has come in for the Bulldogs, and the bench has scored 8 points. And King traveled with. Bizjack circles, goes down the lane, draws a whistle against Peavy. Telfort uses the screen. Great fight from Peavy. Telfort, high off the window, no, and it was last off the hand.
Starts with players like those we just showed you.
This is the closest the game's been since the middle of the first half. Wiltshire ends a scoring drought that lasted almost 6.
St. John's, they're looking like they want that clock to be running clock.
Wiltshire, short. Curtis Williams with the board.
Well, we saw this even in a couple of their losses, Georgetown. Woo! There he is again, Arunse.
Longino running the show here. Longino drives, lefty finish, no. Rebound Sorber.
New roster for Nepal this year. Only 3 wins a year ago in a very rough season. Here's Enright to take. He's fouled on the way to the basket. Hit there. 5 starts for Williams.
They got Peavy on the point guard. Look at he can harass you.
Enright thinking 3 over Peavy. Wow, it's way off the mark. Not even close.
You know, he likes it. I'm not saying he likes it. He'd rather play with Sorber, but there's a lot more space for him now to do what he's doing in this game.
And he blocks the shot. Layup attempt from Conor Enright.
You know, we see a lot of good passing big men in the NBA. Tough shot. Good defense there by Peavy.
Easy fillet. No resistance right there by UMBC on defense.
16-4 run for Georgetown. And they grab that rebound, and good help defense there from Georgetown.
Georgetown is just playing high-level defense.
Step back. That was not an easy shot. Fighting down low. UMBC comes up with it.
Maybe that one's fielded. Next time probably needs to kick that one out. Pretty sure someone else is wide open.
They got tangled up there. Again, it's the defense in the paint for Georgetown that's making life very difficult on the retrievers. Another rebound for Sorber.
Animal in itself, because every team can be beaten on any given night. The talent is so high. The league is very, very tough to play in.
Against the screen. DeAndre Howell South leans. No. Green can't dunk it back. And
seemed like it was about 5 miles away.
Here we are on the hilltop. Second and final game here at McDonough this season for Georgetown. With 3 to shoot, the swarming defense, and rewrite it twice, if you will. Here's Fitch, nice ball fake. Xavier Fitch misses the bunny. Still battling.
Blocked. Sorber. DeMar Kelly, nothing doing there. Pineda keeping it alive. Good hustle for it. Step back, the lefty, no, a little bit short. Pineda battling in this half. Went to his left hand, yep. So Rosenberger with
the dribble. A brick. The offensive rebound, though. Cadre Kebe knocks it down.
In the nation's capital in a big way this afternoon.
The holidays.
So happy to get
6 straight for the Hoyas. Here's Jai with 10. Off to Alako. Alako attacks to Burton.
5 immersive worlds.
Not happen continually if you're going to be a good basketball team.
At 5'11", Alvey loses the handle, dishes it off, and a nice cut there, and the finish by Higgins Jr. Whitney Sidney the ball fake, then goes at Fielder. He'll head to the line.
And it's a game changer with Sorber in the low post for Georgetown. Made a real difference as Dixon is too strong on the mid-range jumper.
Look at Brickus, just really understands how to run the point. Probing constantly up, going the other way on that one.
Myers a tough kid, and he's sneaky athletic.
Rivera thought about pulling trigger guys again. Meyer through traffic is hit. Couple Hoyas converge. So far from the free throw line tonight. Good defense, Peavy in the half court this time. Head to head with. And right kicks in the corner for Gunn. Nice fake on Peavy. Hangs and hits.
That's like 2 pump fakes in a row. You have to have the rim.
Interesting is Georgetown retaining control with Sorber on the bench. Getting ready to check back in. Richmond off. Fielder with the board.
How about
Donnie Marshall is out of his seat. Lewis off the window. Flows. It's down to 4. Lewis with 3. R.J. Lewis. Long. Rebound to Caleb Williams.
And that's okay, John. They used up a lot of clock.
Oh, they worked on that today, too.
Jones snaps it off. Down the lane, back to the basket. Sorber rejection. And a fitting finish. Joplin to Jones. Ball sticking a bit. Jones on the drive.
Sorber again. Another block.
Coming from Coppin State, they're able to get the ball right back, though.
It just ripped the ball right out of Fielder's hands. Horton just took the ball right from Fielder, just took it out of his hands.
Tough drive. Speaking of back up top, 3-pointer too strong, tipped right back out to Ellerby. Ellerby contact on the way up, and there's
Adewusu's been quiet thus far. Worked his way to the foul on Sorber, his first.
The problem is
Dual, shot clock trimmed to 10. Dual, short.
Yeah, you know, when you want a day, Wusu should try to stand in front of a guy who's been around a little bit like you have.
Coleman was fouled by Peavy.
A better style and a better pace.
Zone from Georgetown. Toomey foul.
Yeah. And not only that, it allows Shaheen Holloway. Georgetown only 3 of 11 from 3.
Both teams just with 3 threes apiece. Jenkins, that was straight up defense by Sorber. Yalden.
Kyle Cuff off his best game with Syracuse against Albany. 0 in the game for the Orange. Belt forces it, tried to draw a foul, and it's out.
Well, it's like Texas A&M, one of the best in the country, get on the offensive glass. They're not the biggest team in the country. Small, that's block shot. Andre chases.
Here's Brickus with 7 on the shot clock. They do get it to Dixon, and he's way off. So the question I have for you is, when this is Poplar with 8, the Miami transfer off to Longino. Villanova is 0 for 4 from downtown. Here, 2.
Got to get the ball to Dixon before this defense gets set. Here, he's got to look to attack.
Dixon is trying to find it. That just hung up on the timeout.
Yes.
Here is Brickus. I'd like to save those as much as possible. Wide open and catch for Longino.
What an answer.
It was a year where he was only a 17% three-point shooter. His sophomore season, Longino. Burks with the rebound.
John.
Ashworth heaves it up. It did hit rim, so the shot clock resets. McAndrews is going to fire a 3. It's short. Fielder the rebound.
Coached in practice, when you see him on the road or when you see him in that summer atmosphere and he shows up for that 8 o'clock game, that's tough.
Along with help and screen saved. Bizjack gets his feet back and downs it. House blocked by Peavy.
Look at the effort.
So no separation for Xavier. Back to a 4-point game. Foster dials in a 3.
Progress, you know, since November, it's just been out of this world.
Floyd lines up the 3, in and out. There's a tip for the freshman Osman.
And find guys
Sorber barking out instructions to his teammates. They left Floyd unmarked. Short from three. Long rebound.
Extended out.
Joseph feeding the low post. Floyd, kick to the wing. Abdur-Rahim, a big one. Brickus back in. Parker, Brickus, Longino, three, short. Parker skies up and saves it.
Right. No. Rivera under 10 to shoot. Held by Williams, no call. Kick out Enright. Back iron miss. Spins in a long rebound. Fresh.
Has the ball on the drive. And Ejiofor with 3 fouls. Didn't want to get his fourth. Lewis, short.
I don't like it. Again, it's another NBA three with a hand in your face.
That's how important this rivalry is.
Old school Big East. Beautiful pass from the interior outside. Does not fall for Stuck.
Alex was like, I get it. This is a great opportunity for me to learn from.
Diarra giving it up to Ball, and Solomon Ball rattles it home.
And top 2 or 3 in the country, his demeanor. He's a pro. He plays. Doesn't let you know when he makes a good play, just plays.
Caravan, that one halfway down the cylinder and out.
Denied the drive. Jones hops into the paint, kick out, rhythm look, Chase Ross. And another board for Fielder.
Zone, which I knew they were going to do a lot of. You know, Marquette is a really good offensive team, John, but they have played against a zone, does all the little things. Great guy to have, fifth-year guy.
He is 8 to lead the game. Quick load, pulled for 3, no. Tip weak side, Mack. Leaking ahead is Peavy. Middle for Ross. Mitchell snaps to Jones, in rhythm, catch, release, swish.
Catch the ball very many times, done a great job.
Down 11, we approach 3 minutes. Out of the corner, Joplin off the iron. Sorber tip out of bounds off. Yep.
And how about the production of Georgetown off the bench? They got 13 points off the bench. They only average 12 a game off the bench.
Jones trying to bust that zone, but it's one and done.
Jenkins stop and go. Now an extra pass from the Hall for Coleman to hit.
It's funny what happens when the ball moves.
Coleman drives into the hands of Jenkins. Adewusu.
Tell you, I know a lot of times.
Coleman. Jenkins. 3 of 22 from downtown.
They'll have to take a tough shot.
And you know, Roy, he's usually a pretty good lob rim runner, and they haven't really tried that yet at all.
Ashworth for 3 again, no good. Kalkbrenner not.
8 straight for Hoyer's McLeod. Moore's wide open. And ties it.
And that's is win. He will adjust, he will adapt. There's no one simple system or style that he'll run. He's also a true player's coach, and a player's coach, big 3 in the corner.
Take pride in getting stops. Right now, UMBC is just running offense easily. The Hoyas must be physical and compete.
3-pointer off the mark. Here's Banks. Reese grabs the rebound right back. Dickerson. Good ball movement. Here is Stone. Sorber. Sky.
Not necessarily going for steals, but making everything more difficult. That's great position for the rebound.
Defense on Esquera, forcing the fall. 8 to shoot. William Peavy off the mark, and Mack the rebound.
Look for.
And off to Cranford, shot back at 10.
Nothing out of the ordinary. This is what they do.
And then Peavy.
What happens is your patience gets a little.
Run the show well, too. Offers a 3 here. A little short rebound, and Pineda gets another opportunity, nails it. He's got 21, 15 and a half.
Been there for me. Taught me a lot about basketball as a player, as a coach, and he's becoming almost that same figure for me.
Yeah, take a little straight shot at them. But
what, were you their alarm clock or something?
No, they just, well, Rel showed up to a Louisville game, a noon Louisville game.
Georgetown, at yesterday's practice, I would say 45% of their practice was on zone defense.
Well, Butler beats at this. Now the rematch in D.C.
It's interesting, this zone, the way you beat it are the lines, John. It's the free throw line. Clock's running down to be a passer. Just for my taste, I want him to go and score if he doesn't have that pass.
What a feed down low to Pierre. Wildcats have reestablished a double-digit lead. Off the drive, Longino, shovel pass, too hot to handle for Parker.
Yeah, Parker in.
He gets that level-headedness about him. Such a wonderful, wonderful young man.
Lewis was fouled going up. So 8 straight.
8 to shoot. The ball sticking behind the back. Jones driving end line. Gold misses the body.
Got it out quick. Fielded 2 feet in the paint. Finish.
Another nice look, but how about on the defensive end? That's Micah Peavy.
Already, Seton Hall showing a little bit more energy.
Whoa. Coleman. Woo! Somehow he caught it and stuck with the play. Isaiah Coleman.
That's that.
Jenkins with the effort. Adewusu. Coleman foul.
4 for 11 to start. Here's Carlos. And Carlos gets it to fall. Starting to see
Nova. Here's Isaiah Rivera. He's going to the free throw line and draws the foul.
He's honest, and he is more than capable of knocking down multiple threes in the game.
Cam Jones had that altered by Peavy. Gold can't stick it back, but projected 6th seed right now in our field of 68 forecast. Driving towards the rim. That one slides in for Trey Norman, his first bucket.
Ashworth, 10 to shoot.
Look at this movement from Ashworth.
Leads to an elbow jumper that he left short. Layup. Shot clock dips down to 6. Ashworth trying to make something happen. Hand in his face, blocked by Peavy.
He and Joseph, what have they done? They've accepted.
Coleman sinks another one. Isaiah Coleman with 19.
To the rim, Micah Peavy. Incredible.
Our box scores are going flying over here. He's rushing into the rim, and some guys you might say he's out of
for Xavier. Well done by Conwell.
Those are the type of plays since the first St. John's game Sean Miller's wanted to see more of. Conwell slides it off.
Around the game, think, well, it's just I have to just prove that I'm a scorer. Peavy is proving that he is a player.
Telfort drills a jumper right over the top of him.
Really play.
I was very surprised that his numbers are comparable to Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing.
How about Roy Hibbert?
My freshman year, I was on the bench.
Meyer leads off for Gunn. Through traffic. His foul on the way to the basket. And shoots.
Look at that, switching up into it. Nice drive by Mahaney.
Oh, big time.
Really good job. Change of direction.
UConn coming off the disappointing loss at Villanova, and Georgetown sort of feels like they need a big one against a signature team. This is that team.
Georgetown. Conwell in transition, quickly picked up by 2. Fremantle with a dozen, looking for more. Short ball, volleyballed around.
Got to be able to hold your own. You can't be small. So I definitely had the rib pads for sure, and mouth guard.
You needed that body armor on.
So crazy because I wore all that stuff. Looked like I was getting ready.
Boise, Idaho. Not very often you see a kid from Boise, Idaho ended up here at Georgetown.
Boise, Idaho. Is it safe to say we might know who he's cheering for coming up here on the 30?
Down to 6. Chauncey Jenkins with 5. Isaiah Coleman with 2. Coleman from the elbow. Offensive rebound, Jenkins.
Wide in the first half.
He has to get aggressive. They're going under him. They don't respect his outside shooting. He has to make them. He has to prove them wrong.
Well, you know what happened, Roy, too, is the game was more
self, you know. Nothing to say there, but just he just seems like a step slow. He may be, I'm not saying tired, but this guy's at corner 3 off of some rotation and ball movement for sure. So his job's not done just because he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Kalkbrenner hands it. Oh, it's stolen again by Peavy. Third.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's King. Hands the ball off. Shot blocked away. It was a good move by.
Get that arm up. Make him post outside the lane. Push him out.
Ashworth, his three no good. Sorber comes in with the rebound.
There. Arine with the handoff to Coleman, who draws the foul in the act of a three-point shot.
Right, I mean, that's always one of the big things is you want to try to continue that momentum that you've got going. And, you know, he's tasked with a lot. He's tasked with guarding the best player, and he's tasked with scoring at the.
And playing here at Capital One Arena, also the home of the Washington Wizards, who play later tonight. A lot of number for Ed Cooley. He wanted his Hoyas to limit their turnovers to 10 or less. Coleman on the drive, puts it in around Sorber.
Well, exactly what happened to Georgetown there.
Xavier spent a lot of their shoot around talking about Micah Peavy not letting him drive into the paint.
Yes.
So he can set himself up, he can set Sorber up. Ed Cooley thought that was an aha moment for Malik Mack.
Too much room.
Conwell, they got away with it. And Williams
challenged the ball handling. They felt that Butler was going to play this game with a point guard name only. There it is.
Back-to-back Butler.
But Williams took it one-on-one driving left. One of those very different variations that coach said that he was going to look for tonight.
Off a screen. Rivera can't hit.
That was a great.
Jaden Glover is checked in for St. John's, the freshman. Off the catch. He's long. Fielder with the rebound.
They're asking him about the game, and we're talking about everything but.
Absolutely. There's a little leaner baseline that does not fall.
And Fielder both have 4 for Georgetown. McKnight kicks it over to Conwell. Conwell, he'll try the triple and buries it.
The state just competing and fighting, giving themselves a chance, capitalizing on the Hoyas' turnovers.
There was Peavy almost getting another hand on it, but look, he still gets the hand up and affects the shot.
Adewusu.
Eat it.
Coleman with the offensive rebound.
Out. Maybe got away with one there with the Yalden foul, because it was a blocked shot.
Jenkins is off. We got a foul, though, fighting.
Success against Sorber, who's already got 2 buckets against him. Ashworth off the screen. He's open for 3. Yes!
One thing about it, the cameras are flying tonight, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, I'll be flying up 95 is what I'll be doing. Here's Ashworth for 3, and it's no good. And the rebound is pulled down by Burke.
Starting point guard who averages 32 minutes a game.
Neal to Ashworth cutting. Ashworth open for 3, and he connects.
The smaller lineup may be
largest it's been in the game for Syracuse. Carlos to find the back-cutting Davis.
Cooley, he's a Boise, Idaho native who finished up his high school career at Southern California Academy.
Boise, Idaho, all the way out here.
Everything, and UAlbany has adjusted pretty well. They've a good job of creating lanes for their men to drive or a three-point opportunity on the outside.
Needed a heave to Dixon. That got dangerous.
That certainly did. So here, see where Drew Fielder's at? He's loaded up 3.
Longino with 6. Down to 5. Longino, that is a really tough shot. Longino. Friars find some sort of a rhythm. Pierre. He's been scoreless tonight. Just 2 shot attempts. Make it 0 for 3. Fernandez with an and one.
Backs, threes, getting downhill, and we know what he likes to do on the defensive end. But he's definitely being tested and challenged right now.
Coleman, that was off the side of the window. A concrete screen. Here's Coleman, nifty shot fake, and he draws the foul on Peavy. 5 to shoot for Coleman. A little bit short on the pull-up. It's tipped out to
at the line.
I think that's warranted. I wouldn't want him to go either if I were a Georgetown fan. That's a foul on Sorber as Duval left it.
But that's what he's been the last couple of weeks. They've gotten into the lab. Lewis. R.J. Lewis is a tough shot maker.
Tell you what, I mean, that was really good defense. Uncomfortable because they've been too comfortable first half of this first half.
Sadiko Ebeen Ayo is off on the attempt, and Rick
by Williams. Peavy on Brickus. Brickus contested three. Actively trying to get a good shot, which by slowing everybody down, they get a good look usually. A little bit of a force there. And this is recovered by Burke. Reach, no foul. Dixon spins, fires, off the mark, rebound for Sorber. Shot clock.
Then Swain with the steal, behind the back dribble, keeps the drive alive. Swain again, a flurry of ball handling, gets the foul.
Conwell don't have your elite three-point shooter. He is still very dangerous.
Maddox can't bury it, Max Skies.
As Georgetown trying to crank up the defense, which they have done so well this season. And there's Peavy called for the foul. There'll be contact on the way up. And there's Naduzzi grabbing the rebound. Going baseline. Tough shot for Toby Naduzzi. Fielder rips them.
His hands up. Not trying to bring it down. Show the referees his hands. And that's a nice defensive play.
Hey, like Greg McDermott told us before the game, you can't teach.
Ashworth assessing.
I will say this too, Georgetown's transition defense. Oh, you got to get a hand.
Way downtown.
You still got to get a hand up. Peavy didn't even get a hand up.
Ski's team. McNeely with 4 to shoot. Spin move, McNeely, the drive, the floater, no. And a shot clock violation against the Huskies.
Great defensive
There, that was going to be a layup.
Shot clock dips down to 6. Ashworth trying to make something happen. Hand in his face, blocked by Peavy.
Shot fake, McKnight kicks it out. Maddox off a ball fake. Down to the dunker spot, the reverse, no. And torn away by Williams. Jump ball.
Now Sorber with the 4 fouls. Ed Cooley playing some chess. Into Lewis. Fielder alternate. Here comes Peavy. Peavy ahead to Mack. Mack lost his control and lost the ball.
Wide again, big screen by Mitchell. Jones keeping balance in the bounce. Rejected away. Peavy out of bounds, 9 to shoot.
Peavy's a really good defender.
Possession. Got it out quick. Fielded 2 feet in the paint. Finish.
Another nice look, but how about on the defensive end? That's Micah. Peavy. Sorber grabs the
lead guard star is short. Adewusu has it. Adewusu all the way. He was shut down by Peavy.
Wow.
And Epps is on the other side.
Hey, when they're doing it.
That's right.
Here's King. Hands the ball off. Shot blocked away. It was a good move by Thomas to get down.
It's like Texas A&M, one of the best in the country, get on the offensive glass. They're not the biggest team in the country. Small, that's block shot. Andre chases after it, but goes down.